All right, well, let's kick this meeting off. Hello, online. Sorry, we had some technical difficulties. I thought it was my computer. I was like, I just bought this dang thing and it is not working. Turns out it was the internet. So Rob hit factory reset on the internet. Here we are. All right, well, let's kick it off like we do every single week with a tell me something good. So what good happened in your businesses last week? Could be appointments set, clients met. What do you got, Davey?
I handed keys to a client. Me and Cindy just closed the deal together.
So they got in the family.
They got the keys yesterday, and then I wrote an offer against 7 people and put together a really strong offer, and we got accepted. My clients, literally, when I told my client, he's the man. When I told him on the phone, he started crying.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, it was really, really touching. And then I signed up a new agent yesterday.
Awesome.
But yeah, you beat out 7 offers, and I believe that who's the loan officer on that?
This guy named, have you guys heard of JJ Mack or?
Yeah, there we go. Sitting back there. Mr. Iron Man. All right, what else? Who else had some wins? Anybody?
I closed 3 for one family last week.
What?
Repeat-
Incredible. Tell us that story. How did you meet
repeat
them
clients.
initially?
So I sold them 2 houses when I sold some new homes in Colfax several years ago during COVID, actually. And then just stayed in touch with them over the years. So I think this is like my 7th transaction for their family.
Wow. Talking about repeat referral business. Welcome, Cindy.
Great people.
What you got?
I got my first relocation listing
Nice.
Okay.
yesterday. It's chaos.
It's
Relocation,
chaos.
absolute chaos.
How did you get the business?
The actually owners who are being relocated to Tennessee for work, they're dear friends from church.
Okay, so Sphere. Dave,
Yeah.
where'd you get your business? The buyer.
Sphere, went
Sphere.
camping, yeah.
Yeah. You went camping?
Went camping, met the guy yeah.
You met him while you were camping?
Yep.
That's great.
All right.
We
Hey,
should
you have
go
any
camping.
sugar? Can I borrow your firewood kind of a thing?
Kinda, more like, do you have any whiskey?
Oh, yeah, I figured, that's what I figured. Lindsay, what do you got?
And that relocation reminded me, we have a client that we have worked with. We sold him his house like 10 or 12 years ago. He came back, wanted to relocate out of state. We reached out to your team, said, hey, does anyone know anyone in this small town in Minnesota? Haley connected us with an agent she had met at, I think, Cabo last year.
Wow.
And she got a referral for that agent.
Cabo's
Connected
paid
us
for,
to
right there, ready to go.
In Minnesota, and he's closing next week. So
That's
someone that
That's so
Haley's
cool.
never even met that agent, but she had a connection.
That's
There's
great.
someone out there that she just randomly knew in the same city. And so she got a full referral off her relocation.
Mailbox money,
Good one.
love it. That's so good. All right, so let's go into, anybody else have anything they want to share? Oh, I wasn't gonna call on you, because you would get mad at me. Can't stay happy here. Happy wife, happy life, what do you got? Now you're mad at me. I did it. Mission accomplished.
Welcome to being married.
Welcome to being married.
Anyways, Lindsay and I closed the deal last week that, they were trying to go with their credit union, but they really wanted to buy the house before they sold their other one. So Lindsay was able to get them into a program that they were able to close on their new house last week, closed on their sale of their property this week, and Lindsay saved the day. So got that one.
Yay.
All right, my wonderful wife. All right, so we have some great upcoming events. Cindy Silva, she was just on the radio show. I do this little radio show every single week. She is a hoot. And I would argue she's probably one of the most intelligent, like, in terms of mechanics and just overall knowledge realtors I've ever met. So she's kind of like an explicit Barbie, is how I heard it described one time. But she
That's
is
hilarious.
very good. You will not want to miss it. But she's speaking here next Thursday, and then after that,
She's gonna be, so her show that she was on this week airs on the 31st.
yes, if you want to hear her on the radio show, here's some crazy stories and how she's generating a lot of business. Fun fact, she has a ranch just, I can't remember,
Yeah.
7 or 8 million.
It's like a lot.
7 or 8 million in the luxury location of Coalinga. And for those of you who don't know, Coalinga is where I was born and raised.
It's one of 6 shooting ranges in the US that's like permitted for the SEAL SWAT team or something.
Yep. So the SEALs go out there and have some fun and
Did you have to edit a lot of them?
edit what?
And did you have to edit a lot of the radio show?
Zero, not one.
Wow.
I told her, hey Cindy, I don't want to pay $5,000 if you make a mistake. So anyways, yeah, so it was, guys, really fun show. But if you don't want to listen to the show, come here on Thursday, get to see her in person. And then what do we have next? Thank you for throwing that up there. And then Thursday, June 5th. So next week is Cindy in this room. The week after that is not in this room. We're gonna be at CATA. So it is, you have to buy tickets. We normally do free events, but because food is being provided in the venue, you have to pay. So scan this QR code. It's only $49 and you get to network with top agents, not only in the local area, but in the all Northern California. Steve?
I'm just gonna just tag on to what Johnny's saying. It's really important as an organization that we support these and that we're all one cohesive team. Corporate comes in, brings some great people, but it's
Agreed.
about the culture we're trying to create. So I'm gonna encourage all you guys. It's a really big event. We all want to play.
Who's going Icon this year?
Who's
Who's shooting for Icon Award?
Who's
Okay.
shooting for it? Raise
Who's
your
shooting for
hand.
it?
Everybody's shooting for it. Yeah.
If you go to this counts for the 4,000. So you get 8,000 back with EXP right when you Icon.
Yep.
Then you get 4,000 if you go to this, and then 4,000 for.
Other things like
Other
shareholders and
things.
stuff.
Like a mentor or you.
Yeah.
Like, guys, there are people driving out from the Bay. They're driving hours, 2-3 hours to attend this. It's 15 minutes up the road. So yes, it does cost them $49, maybe $3 in gas, but they're spending a whole lot more than that, and they're making the drive out. So there's no reason why we shouldn't. Yeah.
Get it twice the price. Be early to.
Yeah. Yeah, be early too, because it will fill up.
Feels that.
Following that, we have Chad. Fun fact about Chad, he recently wrote a book as an Amazon bestseller, and he's gonna be talking about living trust. I see this problem all the time. Have you guys, like, you've been in real estate maybe 30 seconds,
Yeah.
you've seen the difference between a probate? I literally was on a call with somebody last night. She's in a reverse mortgage. Actually, her mom was in a reverse mortgage. Her mom died 2 years ago, and she's still living in the house on the reverse mortgage. The house is in the dead mom's name, not in a trust. And she's like freaking out, understandably so. But if you're able to get your clients into living trust, this is a reason to follow up. Chad will be speaking about that on June 12th. And then, following that, oh, guys.
Just in case,
She's
hold on, just
amazing.
one little point there, just in case you're wondering whether your client should be in a trust. Every one of your clients,
Oh,
if
yeah.
they're breathing in the state of California,
Yeah.
should be in a trust, and you should too. It's probably the most overlooked thing that we as real estate agents do not instruct our clients to do, that we should instruct our clients to do.
And there's things ranging from like $500 options to $2,000 options. I'm not gonna, you'd have to sit down with somebody to figure out what works best for you, but it's not necessarily financially inhibiting to begin this process. But when you're going through probate, the average cost of probate in California is $30,000. So your estate has just lost $30,000 by going through that court process. Way more affordable, and way faster to have trust.
Yeah.
So every single month, Brett flies in an incredible speaker for PCAR. This month's speaker is gonna be Wendy Goss. So make sure you RSVP. We always like to have the room set up for how many people that are gonna be there. We've noticed sometimes there's like tons of chairs set up in the back and it's kind of distracting. That's because people haven't, RSVP. It's free. It's free 99. So don't worry if it's not gonna cost you anything. We wanna make sure the room is set up accordingly. And if way more people show up, then there's not enough seats for everybody. So please take 2 seconds, scan the QR code, and bring a friend. Do not come to this alone. This is one of those events. It's probably going to be one of the best ones of the year.
Give the back history on it.
She was not a luxury agent. She got plugged into EXP Luxury, and then she started implementing some very specific strategies. And now she has like, I think, what is it, Cindy? Like a $7 million.
Michael Jackson's
house.
house.
So Michael
Vegas.
Jackson's
She's
house.
taken over luxury in Vegas, basically.
She's and all in a very relatively short period of time. So she was not luxury. I think she was into Jeeps and stuff and like off-roading. So not like a luxury, not like somebody that would drive like a Rolls Royce.
Very
Something that does
unheard.
that. Yeah. But all of a sudden transitioned quickly into real estate or the luxury real estate. So if you want to learn how to do that, want to but make more in commission, scan the QR code. Wendy Goss will be speaking on June 19th. Then do we have any more, Jose?
One last.
One last one. All right. And so then at the end of June, we are having, actually, I was on the phone with Liz. So Liz is a reverse mortgage specialist. We have her out once or twice a year to talk on this. That person I was talking to that did not have the trust, Liz was kind of walking me through on how we can best help this person. So Liz will be speaking on reverse mortgages at the end of this month.
Awesome.
So a lot of great stuff, a lot of fun stuff coming up. Anybody's welcome to attend these meetings. It's not just for EXP or people thinking about joining EXP. Want to lift the room, want to lift, like raise, what does Brent say? A rising tide lifts all ships. So we want to be that resource for agents.
And Brent has asked us all to invite at least 2 people to these events.
Oh, yeah, to the P card, definitely.
So if you don't do it, you just don't like Brent.
Yeah. You don't like Brent. Yeah.
Obvious.
He's gonna start charging for the free
Obviously.
office. Yeah. So, oh, forgot, of course, every single year, this is, if there's one golf tournament that you want to attend, it's gonna be Frank Crandall's. Where is he? Saw him back there. He's in the pink shirt. Everybody see Frank? That's the guy who's putting it on. I think this is the 11th.
See, if we're the worst golfer on the planet, should we still come?
Yes.
I guarantee you're not worse than me. You know, and I'll be there, but yeah. Swing for the kids, scan the QR code. It's fast, it's fun, it's at a great venue. And it's for a good cause. All right, I think that's it. Is everybody evented out? Is that enough events for one? Okay. Alex Dyer, every single Friday, Alex talks about and teaches how to use KV Core, AKA Bold Trails, a free service we have. What are you speaking about this week?
So this week, we're talking about how to create a farm, a real estate farm. Something I wish I would have done 20 years ago. I never did it. But I have Heather from Chicago Title coming in. We're going to talk about Title Toolbox and how to put together your real estate farm. So if you're a new agent and you're looking at your database and saying, I don't really have anybody in my database. Well, I'm going to show you how to put a couple thousand contacts in your database you can go focus on and market. And that's what we're covering.
Perfect. All right.
It'll be right here or on Zoom, 10 o'clock.
Perfect. And just scan the QR code so that we have all the meeting invites and you can register. All right. I think that might be it. Final call. All right. So now we are up to our favorite. Who likes 7% interest rates, right? That's what we're all here for. 7% interest rates. So please give a warm round of applause and welcome to the front of the room, Mr. JJ. Oh, by the way, come on up here, JJ. You got to come up here. Give him a round of applause. Hey, this guy turned 29.
Oh, yeah.
It's his birthday. It's his birthday.
29 at heart.
Yeah, no. So we all got to sing. We all got.
Is it your birthday?
Yeah, today is his legit birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, man. I usually don't get nervous coming up to the front of a room, but somehow now I am. Thank you, guys. The haircut looks good. Thanks. Yeah, man, I feel really special this morning. I woke up and usually I work out. Johnny and I are texting like, I'm gonna run today, I'm gonna bike them, I'm gonna do something today. Today I was like, I'm gonna lay in bed. So I laid in bed, I woke up at like 6 o'clock, went out, like swept my pool. I love doing that. And like had a cup of coffee, and then my girls woke up, gave me some birthday gifts. Amazing. So I feel blessed today. They're 3 and 5. Feeling really good today. Thank you guys so much. This made my day. I got a smile on my face. It's never gonna leave. So all right. Well, the only way it can leave is with these interest rates. Yeah. I feel like
Your
yeah.
fault.
Geez, I feel like we keep getting these benefits. A couple weeks ago we saw them get better, and then all of a sudden it didn't. But some things happened over the last week, and some of those things that happened, there was this big, what is Trump called the big great plan?
Beautiful bill.
Big beautiful bill. There it is. And although there's some good things in there, it really did hurt with the bond market, because there's some thoughts that maybe now they're gonna bring on some more debt, and we're gonna have to take out some more bonds. So there's some things that are gonna happen there that could potentially continue to raise those interest rates. But hopefully Trump has got his mind in the future, and he said that this isn't gonna raise rates. So hopefully he's got something going on. I think he does. We'll see. So anyways, home sales dipped a little bit, but I think that we're gonna be did you guys see inventory go up a little bit here? Have you seen that happen? Yeah. So But we're seeing him coming up. Prices are coming down a little bit. Yeah, I saw that too. Demand might be growing. Oh, look at who it is. Demand might be going back up a little bit, and the median price continues to rise though, in terms of year over year. And so we are seeing that. We have a 4.4 month supply of housing, still below the 4 to 6 months balance mark that we want. But here's the thing, a bio breakdown. Let me tell you guys what the bio breakdown was. First time home buyers was up. It's up 34%. So more first time home buyers are buying homes now. Cash buyers are down a little bit, 25%, and investors are down a little bit to 15%. So those first time home buyers now are getting the chance to come in and buy some homes. That's a good thing. So I'm going to ask you guys a question really quick. Now that you guys know about where the market is and interest rates, and yes, they've gone up a little bit, but who is, when you get an offer accepted, who is the fastest person to screw up a file in the transaction?
Lender.
Lender. Right.
Yeah.
You all knew. You all yelled it out. It's like you were yelling at me.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. But you're right. A lender is the first person to screw up a transaction. And why is that?
They don't order the appraisal they won.
They don't order. Yeah, that's one reason. And they just,
The buyers don't let them.
yeah, they don't look at the file completely, right? They don't do the work ahead of time. They don't want to do the work. They don't know how to do the work. Maybe they just feel like, oh man, I'm too busy. I'm going golfing today. It looks fine. I've got all this stuff. I'm just going to sit here and send the pre-approval letter out. And that's okay. Sometimes if you have a valid conversation with somebody, you need to get that pre-approval so you can get in the house and look at it or whatever. But this is the first thing that will happen. And so I want to tell you guys something today that's super, super, super important. I think you'll all agree that it doesn't happen very often. When you put an offer in for a client, one of your buyers, how often, or I'm sorry, as a listing agent, how often are you hearing from the lender?
Half the time.
Maybe half the time.
Maybe.
I have to call on.
But
Listing agent.
Yeah, maybe a third of the time, probably.
third of the time, I would agree with you on that. I think we're seeing it a third of the time or less. And do you think it's important?
Yes.
Absolutely.
When you hear from them, it's
It's a must.
usually like, does that offer usually stacks up a little higher in your list? When you talk to your buyer, you have something else to give them other than just a piece of paper. You have a good idea of what's going on in the file, and if this lender knows what he's doing, she knows what she's doing. And so that is something that we really do find that's helping out in this market. And I can tell you several examples of why that's happened and how it's happened. But there's 4 reasons that I'm going to give you today why it's so important and why you should all have your lenders call. The first one, and almost the most important one, is the credibility and the confidence that it's going to give to that listing agent to accept that offer. Sometimes not even the best offer.
Right.
I think David and I could talk about that in this offer that he just got accepted the other day. But it's really going to help that listing agent feel like you've got it under control, that your file is going to go through and you know for sure that we're not going to have any issues. It's going to go a long way. The other thing about that is, there's experience in this, right? We have been doing this for a while now, and I get to know a lot of these people. And so when I call the listing agent, just like the other day, I called, and what did I hear? I didn't say, hello, who's this? And said, JJ, how's it going? She knew who I was. And so I'm able to call. She's got my name on the number and name on the phone, and she knows what she's going to hear. I just saw you were the lender on the offer. Tell me about it. What can I expect? And I said, you can expect exactly what you see in that offer or better. This is a very, very good offer. These clients are very well qualified. They could go out and buy a much bigger home. They just want to keep their payments small.
Better means 11-day close.
Yeah, it's 12-day close, but we're going to do it. It also limits that personal touch, right? We want to give them a personal touch. We don't want to just send them an offer and say, take my offer. Well, why would I take your offer? I don't know who you are. But if I call them and I say, now you do know who I am, and I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm doing this not only for you, I'm doing this for me too. Because when I call that person, you know what I'm telling them? I'm telling them that I want to earn your business too. So this is a test for me as a lender. If I call you, David, and I don't know you, I'm saying, David, at the end of this transaction, if I've done a good job for you, would you give me a chance to earn your business?
It's the same as us for agents. When we do well, they want to work with us again.
So I'm doing that a little bit for my own good, but it goes a long way for you guys as well. The third thing is the speed assurance. Speed is king.
Yeah.
In this market right now, if you write a shorter escrow, a lot of times, even if there's another offer that's a little bit more, sometimes that speed will make it to where your offer gets accepted. But if you don't have a lender calling and saying that it's absolutely going to happen, they might not believe this is going to happen. So you need to give them that confidence, and that's what we can do as a lender. And then the last thing is, a lot of times, like I said, the first thing to kill a deal is a lender. If we can get after that ahead of time, we can share with them some other problem-solving things that we've done in the past and give them that vibe that we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
We can solve the problem beforehand. So if there is something that's going to come up, we know how to solve it. And so with that being said,
Can I add one
That's
thing?
so good.
I gotta add one thing. That offer that I was telling you about when my client cried, it's his dream home. He was pre-qualified with another lender, and the week before we met with JJ to try to do a bank statement loan just to see if we could buy a bigger ranch. They could get rid of their commercial building, buy a property with a commercial building on it, and kind of build like this big ranch. Luckily, we met with JJ, and the morning of, all offers were due around noon. It ended up being pushed to the end of the day, but their agent wrote me this: no problem. The highest we can go now is 650,000 with 180,000 down. JJ got them qualified up to 702,250 with not even 175,000 down, like 150 in their payback bills, like credit cards and everything. So the right lender works.
Yeah.
And what I said to them was, if I could get you in touch with a lender that might be able to save you 10 to 20,000, would you be willing to talk to them? That's all I said.
dude, thank you, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
So
that.
good.
Appreciate the support on that. And I'll give you the $20 later until you just say that.
It was 50.
Yeah. Yeah. With rates going up, I don't know if I can afford that anymore, but okay. So last thing, thank you guys for appreciating. And if your lender's not doing that, make sure they're doing it. It will make a difference. You will get your offers accepted because it's one of the most important things that
It
we have in
is.
this market. Credibility and the confidence that we can give to those listing agents to get our offers accepted and to make our buyers' dreams come true.
Yeah.
And so I'll leave you with this.
So 8 years ago, 7 years ago, I'm a real estate agent. I'm not a mathematician. Years ago. And the reason why we've stuck with Margaret and now we enjoy working with Chicago Title is because of one of the things that we're going to go over today, and that's called the net sheets. These net sheets, like I was literally yesterday in a room with somebody and they were like, well, what does this mean? What are you going to charge? And when I hear, what are you going to charge? What I'm hearing is, what am I going to make? That's what they're asking. They don't really care about what I'm charging them. They care more about what they're going to make. And so I said, would it be okay if I showed you what you could expect to make off the sale of property? I'm not even having a conversation about commissions. I'm having a conversation about like money in their bank account. She said, yes. She's like, it's almost like a weight had been lifted off of her shoulders. She's like, yes, please. And so I said, okay, it's going to take 5 seconds, but I'll do it with you. And so I showed them what we're about to show you today. And I walked her through the process. And then she was like, can you send that to me? I said, absolutely. I took a screenshot of it and I texted it to her on the spot so I wouldn't forget to do it later after I left the home. So that's what we're going to go over today. So please welcome to the front of the room, the Heathers, right? Come on, you're on the clock. The Heathers.
Well, unlike JJ, I get nervous every time I walk out in front of all of you, but luckily I have this one here who's just like.
Yeah. I don't get nervous and.
So I do have a sign-in sheet. Please keep in mind, like, our job is very much like yours. We have a database. We want to make sure we do the proper follow-up. Her and I both pride ourselves in that. If you get regular emails from us, just put your name. We have it. But if you're newer and maybe haven't heard from us before, please put your email. And then I did cross out a little spot here. If you would like a one-on-one appointment, let us know, because we're just doing a snippet today. So if you want to dive in more, we'd love to reach out to you and get that set up. So if you want to just pass that around, let us know you're here so we can do the proper follow-up. Awesome. I didn't realize that was a video when I picked that camera piece. But again, we're going through two things today. We're going to go through how to build a net sheet. We're going to give you a quick glance at all the calculators that we offer our clients. And then we're going to touch on something Johnny asked us to touch on once you're in a transaction with Chicago Title, how you can monitor that entire transaction. So we'll touch on that as well.
And today we brought Margaret Harris with us. She's our fabulous escrow officer that works with a lot of you, specifically the maid from our team. So she's here. I'm Heather Gerbrow, Heather Beerworth. We have this flyer in front of you. This is the app that we'll be going over. You need to get approval in order to have it. So pick a Heather, any Heather, and we will approve you. Okay.
So I wanted to include this slide because I think it's really important to obviously not just stand up here and tell you why you should use our tool and we have the best one and whatnot. It comes down to what the clients are saying. Mine that I think is the absolute most important is the second one, is all of our calculators, obviously they have our fees included, but they are designed to open the door to conversations. And that is the point for you. It's to open the door to give your client something tangible for then you to bring in your expertise and have that conversation based off of their needs. So just a couple different reasons of why people like using this. User friendly, you'll see that. But I think that's probably the biggest one.
Tom Ferry uses it. You guys will hear from Tom
Yes.
Ferry and Cabo.
And then Jose, if you want to click on that first one, we'll just do a quick the top one. I'm sorry. We'll do a quick video so you can just get a glimpse at it, and then we'll dive into doing a quick demo.
In the meantime, if you guys want to download it.
If you guys haven't, I'd recommend downloading that app so that way you can get your questions
Yes,
answered
do
before
it
they leave
now.
today. Yeah.
Do it now.
That's cute.
So Palm Agent is the platform. Chicago Agent One is our branding for that.
Okay, I'm gonna come hop in and steal your computer. I can do it just for Mike here too. And then Heather will take demo.
And this isn't to discourage you guys from reaching out to your escrow officer for net sheet. Margaret is willing and happy to do any net sheet. This just comes in handy when you're at a listing presentation. You know, maybe numbers have changed, like Johnny was saying, after hours, weekends, holidays, when you can't get a hold of your escrow officer. This is what we recommend using.
And then have one quick snap. This is the application.
You can just log into mine. I'm
1
logged in.
million times.
Yeah, just use mine. I'm already logged in.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, we don't have any sensitive material on our computers, but the amount of times we have to change passwords to things, I'm just like, I don't have any passwords left in my brain.
Well, they're setting up. Can I just say a couple
Yes,
things I love
say-
about? So I use it all the time on my phone. You have to go to your laptop. That's what I love about it is I can just use it real quick on my, in fact, I don't even know if I've ever used it on my laptop at all, ever.
Yeah,
I've always,
yeah.
Yeah, just is so handy and it can be the detailed report or a simple snapshot if they don't care about all the, and just send them a PDF and it looks super professional.
Yeah.
And the numbers, I think the numbers are pretty accurate,
They're
like,
side by side to
yes,
what you're.
like if once I type, you know, you guys run it in office, it's
Yes.
usually,
It's pretty close. The only changes would be, you know, when you have an updated closing date,
Yes.
so the prorated
yes.
active, you know, would change. But the majority of our clients are using these for seller net sheets. You'll
Yeah.
see a buyer section. We would much rather you reach out to JJ and his team for that, because the lender fees that are built into this app are estimates. Of course, you have the ability to edit that and change them to your preferred lender, but we would much rather you go and get the fees from your lender. So
What we were gonna show you first is all the calculators that are available to you. So this is just a glimpse. I always suggest when I sit down, you know, we might be going over a net sheet, a buyer estimate, come in here, play around with all these calculators, see what type of templates they pull. And obviously, like I was talking about before, see what kind of conversations that you could create from these, from all of these different calculators. This equity review was probably added 7-8 months ago. It's a very popular one right now for your database. Something Tom Ferry suggests is picking, you know, 5 people out of your database each week, you know, creating a quick equity review takes you less than 5 minutes, get it over to them. If you're doing an open house, pull those potential next sellers, provide them with an equity report. I'm in your area for the next few weeks. If you'd like a full CMA, I'd love to do that for you. So a couple ways you could use that one, but lots of calculators to check out. But again, we'll go into the seller net sheet. Does anyone have a address you would like us to run a net sheet on? Anyone want to throw out an address?
3200 Wilderness Court.
Wilderness?
3200 Wilderness Court.
What county is that in?
Elk Rock.
Okay.
the rule number 1, you want to make sure you're in the right county.
I love it that it'll even prompt that though, if you're in the wrong.
Yes,
It does.
put
So,
the address
yeah,
in.
right here. Yeah, it'll,
Cause I never remember to say.
yeah, because sometimes you'll pop in that address, you'll get a reminder, you're pulling something outside of the correct county, so it'll do it for you. Because yes, I would forget to, and then I look at. it
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, the
that's
fee.
right.
And it's already built into the app of what's specific to that county, you know, certain counties, like in Sac County, typically the seller pays 100% of title insurance. Of course, all that's negotiable,
It's
but it's
important.
built into the app of
Or-
what's customary. Which is.
Placerville, perfect, okay.
And you don't have to put in an address, but Heather's gonna show you why it's helpful if you do.
The first thing that it's gonna pull is it's gonna pull the annual property tax from the year prior. So you can include that in your estimate. I'm gonna click it off for now. And then if you go to next, it's gonna give you the average interest rate at the last time that something recorded on this property. So it's a national average. Obviously, we all know best practice is directly ask them, what do you owe? But there are times where we don't know. one thing to keep in mind, this platform does not know if they made extra payments, if they missed payments or whatnot, but it's a starting point. So if we wanted to, we could put in that, just down here, it says average interest rate, 3.19. We could put that in and then it would insert the loan amount there. So we can hit compute. And it's gonna say this is roughly their loan balance. Is that, are you familiar with what their loan balance is? Does that look
Close.
close? Okay, so we'll go ahead and use it.
Close.
Okay. And then I'll just kind of plug and play as you go.
Yeah, plug and play. What are you thinking of listing it at?
649.
649. And then, are you offering, what are you asking for your compensation?
It'll be 5.
5, so 2.5 each?
Yeah.
Okay.
To sign contract.
Yeah.
This drop down was obviously added.
4.5.
And then obviously this drop down got added over the summer last year, so you can determine buyer sellers.
Sorry, guys.
We'll leave it at
No,
so.
good.
No, you're good. You're good.
Miscellaneous is for, are you having the seller pay for a home warranty, or do you charge a TC fee or any other miscellaneous?
Yeah,
fees?
home warranty's gonna be paid.
Okay, perfect. Okay, awesome. So what do you ballpark? 800, 850, 700?
It's got a pool, so it's probably gonna be out 795, 800.
All right, perfect. So we'll use 800.
And then you can continue to add fields here as well. And
And then closing date, do you have a?
Gotta go in escrow.
Okay.
Oh, no, wait, Monday.
Okay, perfect. So this can default, like ours defaults 30 days out. You could always change that or make it a custom date.
Probably 60. Yeah.
60 out?
Yeah.
Okay.
doesn't, oh, there, it did work. Okay, I'm gonna hit compute.
Go ahead and email that to me.
Perfect.
And Johnny, this is where you have said, you take a screenshot of this, just like we saw in that video too. This is what you generally share, so it doesn't. give
Correct, yeah,
that
this
full breakdown.
pretty green and blue, that's what I
Yeah.
share with them.
We are control freaks, so we always recommend clicking detailed closing costs just to make sure that everything looks right. In El Dorado County, typically title and escrow are split 50-50. If you want to change that, you could always get your seller, worst case scenario, have seller pay all the fees, or, you could always
Yeah.
change that. And see right here, built into the app was termite inspection, so you're not gonna do that most likely, so you could edit and get rid of that, so.
And Heather, there is, I just had a client do a San Francisco property, and there's different inspections that are there, and it'll pop in. So for every county, what's usually happening there, it'll populate.
And this
So
is another area, this little green is where you can add in, something like we did with the HOA, it'll ask you an item name and then you can put the price, so you can add it there as well. Sweet. Done.
And this is Nicole, our other rep from our
Yes,
Citrus Heights
yes.
area.
It's Heather?
Not a Heather. That's why she's not in Roseville.
We're just gonna call you.
That's why she's not talking.
This is another spot, just something the app does. I personally love it because my brain would forget, but again, we got rid of that termite inspection and that's part of my default. Therefore, it's remind me, are we doing this for just this estimate? Or are we doing this moving forward? So you don't have to go back and forth, change your default. So for this estimate. Okay.
And then, we click share or print PDF. And it's gonna pull up this of what you want to email, so we can email it to you right now as well. But Heather's gonna show you that you can customize it too.
Now, if you're on your phone, you do also have the text option. So you do have the option to
Awesome.
pull, to text it to your client as well. And you're gonna see a bunch of templates down on this right-hand side. As every platform out there, there's always a premium version. It is completely up to you if you use that premium version. We do not get any kickbacks if you decide to use it. It's $1 per month, $10 for the entire year. You get all the content for social media. You're branded to all your pieces. You get multiple template options. Again, completely up to you for you to use it.
Oh no, it didn't say the termite thing,
Oh,
but pretend that's not.
pretend it's not there. So
So what I end up doing, guys, is I say, hey, is this about what you were wanting? Like, does this look like what you were expecting to get out of the sale of the house? They'll go, actually, it was high, it was low, they'll get the numbers, and then, okay, well, based off that, in order for you to get what you want, the house would have to sell for this much more. And then it's more of a conversation about marketing the home and positioning the home and less about my commission. Does that make sense?
Which is super cool. Once, is the Wi-Fi slow?
Oh, it's-
Yeah, they're having
Okay.
trouble with
Oh,
it
oh,
too.
got it. So after that's done, there's another feature that Heather will show that it's sell to net. So if you're meeting with someone and they're like, oh my gosh, I cannot sell unless I net 240. You can change it from the other page.
Yeah.
And then it'll do the math for you, which is pretty cool.
I guess we'll have to wait for this.
Save button that you can see right there, that's another feature that I like, where it says save estimate over there, because sometimes you go back. You know, that we do a price reduction or something, and then we have to run the numbers again, so we can just open up the saved estimate and fix the numbers.
idea.
and It's way easier that way. Yeah.
Leave it to you to say that, Valerie. It's a good idea.
Do it all over.
So efficient.
So we don't necessarily need to stay on this page.
Yeah, you can
As you
back
can
up.
see, you have plenty of net sheet options.
I like the simple one too, because it's a text. You can just text, it's like one page or something.
Yes,
like
this is
that.
the
It's like
snapshot thing.
super easy for them.
And if anyone has it pulled, oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, so on this side, like Heather and I, for whatever reason, we choose this one. What's great about it too, see these little, I don't want to click anything, I don't want to click into it because we don't want to wait for that, but you can put pictures of the property in there. So you can put, you know, if you wanted to do an extra touch, this is really good on the buyer estimate. So if you wanted to put pictures of, you know, you have 3 different buyer estimates you want to present, you can put pictures of their favorite parts of the home. They love the kitchen in this one. You can add a little extra to it. Let's go back and I'll show you. So Heather was talking about, let's say they need to net, what did you say? Like
240.
240. We can edit straight from this screen. So we can,
And other title companies have net sheet platforms. This is the only tool on the market that allows you to work backwards.
so it'll
you don't
change
have
what
to do
that
the
sales
math.
price needs
All
to
of the
be.
title escrow fees have changed. So then you can have that conversation to see the comps, you know, support what they would need to sell.
How'd you get there again?
You just.
Yeah. And then. Oh, no. you do have to go this
It gets me every time.
way.
Okay.
And then this is my favorite one.
This is favorite. I changed back to 649 so that we can look
Okay.
at it. So when you're on your phone, I'll be honest, it's a very aggressive snap of the wrist. It's not just like, you know, like you gotta like really mean it.
If you're on the app and shake your phone, this is what happens.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
It's so
Yeah.
cool.
And you can do a couple different things here. We'll take you into the full, what you can send to your client or bring with you to a listing presentation, but you can change the price increments here. You can change if you want them, increasing or decreasing, or obviously both, where yours populates right in the middle. But this is great. There's also one on the buyer side that I absolutely love. Just because of the way my brain works, but this is a great piece to bring to listing presentations. They want to know, what are they going to net at close at this price, this price, this price, and this price, and you have something that you are already prepared to have.
Well, the other thing with listings right now, like say it's in a price point where a lot of buyers are asking for $10, you know, like a seller credit.
Yeah.
I like to show them like, hey, this is happening in this segment of the market. And so this is what that would look like.
Yeah.
I love it.
Prep
this is
them
one of
for
our-
that.
A little shake of the wrist and you have this. That's great.
So play around with that. You'll love that. There's a premium feature that's mostly for social media content. That's $1 a month or $10 a year. Probably the cheapest fee you'll pay.
Yeah.
Real estate. But Jose, if we go back
Oh, yeah.
to our slides, if that's possible, then Margaret,
It's Margaret's
it's Margaret's
She gets just as
turn.
nervous as I do.
So let's pretend that you're like, I don't need another app. I don't technology, any of this. Margaret, what if they want you to do the net sheet?
I am Margaret.
This is Margaret. What's best for them to
So for me to give you the most accurate numbers, obviously for the bottom line for your clients, make sure you have the sales price. Sorry, here we go. I was gonna read this. So just make sure you have the sales price, make sure you have the commissions. If you don't want to do a split commission to show your clients, we can do a lump sum so they don't see what you're getting versus what the other agent is getting. If you know what they owe for their current mortgage, or if they have liens or judgments against them, give us all of that information up front as well. And we'll pull the taxes ourselves. If it's an investment property, make sure you let us know, because we need to ask if there's gonna be withhold, which is the 3.33% of the sales price, which all sellers are surprised by. We'll get down to getting the contract and getting those fees over to them, like, oh, we didn't know about this. So make sure you have that note. And then if there's any solar information that you have, the solar company, we can do estimates for that. We know some of them have fees for transferring, or if you guys are gonna pay it off, we wanna know what the balances are. Defaulted taxes, we'll pull that. Outstanding utilities, depending on the county, we can pull those right away online, but if you know that they have anything, again, with liens or delinquent utilities, let us know. And then if you're in contract and you have any addendums, you just send us the contract without the addendums. It's gonna be hard to give you an accurate fee, because a lot of time, there's other things on there that we need to know, like credits or changes in who's paying what or commissions. That's the most important stuff. And, you know, I'm good at getting net sheets out right away. I can do 10 to 15 a day if you need to. Ask Valerie. Just kidding. But on the weekends and, you know, evenings, our team is available if you guys ever need help. A lot of the time, if I'm not doing anything, I can assist as well, weekends and evenings. So give me a call on my work phone.
What's your personal number?
So we will help, but yeah, that's the disclaimer for you guys too, when you're either using the app, or if Margaret's giving you a listing or a net sheet before a listing presentation. The disclaimer is, this is an estimate. We won't know if there's any red flags or liens or any of that until, you know, the prelim is pulled. So,
Which is why we recommend pre-opening. Let's
Correct.
get those prelims done so we can tell you exactly what's gonna need to be cleared and what it's gonna cost.
So again, like we said, if you want to dive deeper in this, if you want to take a trial run, you don't currently work with Chicago Title, we will absolutely let you do a trial run. We're gonna, of course, want to do an appointment with you, show you all the other wonderful features. This is something else that Chicago Title offers. Johnny asked us just to touch on it. If you've ever been in a transaction, you've been invited to, what does the email say? It says, you've been invited
you've been invited to in here. It's like DoorDash or Uber for escrow.
Sure.
It monitors your escrow in live time. So you can see EMDs received, HOA docs are in. Obviously, Margaret or your escrow officer is going to tell you otherwise. It's not like you have to constantly be in here to see what's going on. But you know, a lot of our techier clients, they prefer this. So we just wanted to touch on that. When you see something that says you've been invited to in here, it's not junk.
Yeah. And just, you know, a couple things, obviously Heather touched on the milestones. We have 12 milestones in our area. You have the choice of putting on push notifications or whatnot, turning them off. The other favorite feature is that all of the documents are available on your site. So for every transaction that you do with Chicago Title, you can go back and get that. It'll live there until you no longer are in real estate and using the app. So a lot of, you know, agents at the beginning of the year, they're getting those closing settlements, getting it out to their buyers for the previous year. You can hop in there. You don't have to dig through all your emails trying to find that sort of thing. So it's kind of like a mobile file cabinet, if you will.
Yes.
So that was just a quick little thing. If you ever have any questions, same kind of thing, you want to do a little training on it, that's what we're here for. So just let us know.
All right, that's it. All right, well, questions you guys have for the Heathers? Any questions? All right, so this is, I mean, it takes 5 minutes, or sorry, Alex, what do you ask?
So when you're sending out the estimates using either the online version or the app.
Yeah.
Is it branded to you as the agent? Is there any branding on that?
So that's part of the premium package there. So you do get the branding as far as very basic. You can have your name, your obviously your brokerage, your phone number and that sort of thing. If you want your picture on there, if you want all of the pieces branded, then it's part of the premium, which is $1 per month or $10 for the entire year.
Okay.
And then the perk to that is you get the social media content as well.
Thank you.
That's a good question.
Yeah, so here, I think I'm on the Zoom meeting. How do I share my screen? Is there, oh, this, only the host can share the meeting?
You want me to share what's on right now?
Can you just make me co-host? Because this is easy and I'm not on the building Wi-Fi. I'm on the share my screen.
While you're doing that, Did Heather Gerbero just got like top ranking something?
I know.
Didn't
Oh.
she?
You're sweet. You're my type
Yeah.
of girl.
Top 5% in the nation, I think, for 2024. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
You were right, yeah.
And they actually got her to go celebrate herself in Las Vegas.
Yeah. To get the second flight out of Vegas, I'm like, get me out of here. I can't consume any more $30.
I know. You know the prices are bad when you get to the airport. You're like, this is the deal.
Yeah. My dad, every text my husband's like, oh my gosh, this whole meal costs $6. I mean, I get so expensive, but still, I was like, this is ridiculous.
So what I found is sometimes when you click buttons and stuff, like all I literally do to answer your question, Alex, is I just take a screenshot of this, I trim it down a little bit. And then I confirm, hey, what's the best email or text for me to send it to? And then I just send it to them.
Okay.
Right there in the living room before I forget. And then after I've sent that, I say, hey, would you like to see, like what you could make at different price points? And they're like, yeah, that'd be great. And then I do that aggressive wrist flick. And then this
I did
pops up.
not know.
Kind of cool.
And then I say, hey, would you like for me to send this to you as well? And they say yes. And so then I just do a quick screenshot. And then I'm talking to them. I'm saying, hey, I'm not being rude. I'm sending this to you right now. I want to make sure you have it before I leave here. And then I'll send it to them and say, did you get it? Or you'll hear their phone go off like a dings. And then you know they received it. That's what I do. That's good for 95% of the people. For the other 5, they want to see this screen with the detailed closing costs. They're going to want to see that. But for most people, they're good with that little blue-green circle.
I like it.
All right, super easy, super simple, $3.99. You guys good with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Brett,
It's
do you have
great.
anything you want to say or?
Yeah, can I say one thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Guys, welcome to
I
the
don't know that-
front of the room. The reason why we're all here, Mr. Brent Gove.
Man, so number one, the Heather and Heather. I'm impressed. Okay.
Yes.
It's like a thing, the Heather and Heather. I don't know, we gotta figure that out. But I'm impressed. That was like the slickest, coolest thing I've ever seen. Take advantage of that. JJ Mack, did he have to leave?
Yeah.
That was great. Everything JJ Mack's just pouring his heart out for you guys and showing up. Is that awesome?
Yes.
Absolutely. On
And
his
so,
birthday.
yeah, it's his birthday. Now?
Yes.
Man, you should be like this with your lender. If JJ is not your lender, who is your lender? You should be like this. You should, like, the lender should buy me lunch. They should buy me coffee. No, you buy them dinner and you bring them gifts. The size of the window you give through is the size of the window you get through. Introduce the Heather and Heather to people. Help them. Introduce your painter. Introduce your, be a giver, not a taker. Be a giver, not a taker. That is why people called me every day to list their home. How many of you want people to call you every day? You want my secret? Be a giver, not a taker. Help people. Well, I'm not going to get anything if I help Heather. You know what? You deposit in the south, you withdraw in the north.
That's right.
Okay. The size of the window you give through is the size of the window you
That's
get
right.
through. You want love? Give love. You want friends? Be a friend. So I just want to say that was awesome.
Yeah.
I really was super impressed with what I saw today. Also, finally, Success Pods are crushing it. We launched something last Friday called the Genius Zone. And some of you were here, some of you don't know about it. So, JJ's here. I was just bragging on you. Were you sitting there the whole time? No. He's like, man, he's like, rub the bottle. There's JJ, But the Genius Zone, it's called the Genius Zone. And by the way, congratulations to Steve Hillier. Almost every single person online's in the Gary Beat and Steve Hillier organization. Congratulations to all of you there. Awesome. And the rest of you that have people in your group that missed it today, you should be telling them, hey, if you can't come in person, and by the way, everything's always better in person. That's why we don't Zoom PCAR. We want you at PCAR with Michael Hellickson. Was that awesome last week?
Yeah, absolutely.
We want you there to feel the impact. But if you're gonna miss it, Zoom's a good backup. And then, of course, we record everything. So if you missed last Thursday with Michael Hellickson, definitely have a viewing party tonight, tomorrow night. Have people over, have pizza and popcorn, and watch Michael Hudson. They said he was probably the best speaker we've ever had. He was the #1 real estate agent in the world. And you didn't take the time to get off work or show up, or you were showing property. I know big stars that were on listing appointments, and they scheduled a listing appointment over the top of the #1 real estate agent in the world. And I'm just telling you, it's not. Every month I bring in a caliber speed.
Yeah,
Costs us
so good.
thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to this monthly. These people are not free. You pay nothing. We're investing in your future. So come monthly, make it a non-negotiable. Be there every month. But back to the success pod, if you want to be a part of one of these, it has to do with more of the long game, which is building an organization, right? When it's just you, I got 2 in escrow, I got 5 in escrow, I got 10 escrow, I got none in escrow. If you have none in escrow, it's a sick feeling in the stomach. We all agree?
Yeah.
No loans in the pipeline. Your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife. When's your next closing? Don't have one. Like, what do you mean you don't have one? Like, don't have one. If it takes you a month to sell a home and a month to close it, you're not getting paid for 2 months. No income. Do the bills keep coming? So the success pods, they meet every night on a Zoom or on a WhatsApp. WhatsApp, 9 o'clock for like 5 minutes. I go, I did it. And let me tell you what, Steve, how well is it working? This is his first week to do it.
It's killing it. Every one of them already got frontline, inspiring.
Yep.
You're committed. You do not want to mess up.
Yep.
And people are actually hitting their goals.
So the short game is having 5 homes in escrow. We know that's necessary. It's important. You have groceries to buy, car payments to make, mortgages you got to pay, insurances. That's the short game. But you also have to play the long game too. If all you ever do is play the short game, you're going to play it for a long time.
Yeah.
I played it for decades and decades, and guess what? It didn't change. 25 years later, if you have nothing in escrow, you're not getting paid. And so you also play the long game, which is what our success pods are about every night at 9. And if you think, right now, I just need to sell, then you can actually create a success pod, and I'll help run it with you. And it'll be for production, for the short game, because you do have bills. You do need to sell homes. And you could do the same thing we're doing to build a sales organization, which is what Keller Williams did, 2 people, Gary Keller and Dave Williams. Coldwell and Banker did 100 years ago. We even know their first names, but they're legendary. Sotheby's, somebody's last name. Berkshire Hathaway, 2 last names. The people we know were recruiters. The people we know played the long game. So we have 15 success pods going on across America. They're on the East Coast, they're in Central, they're Mount Standard, they're Pacific. Steve's running one right here. So if you want to be a part of that, text me at 916-223-5555 or get my number from anyone in this room. I will send you the paperwork. You can read about what it means to be a part of the Genius Zone. We meet once every 2 weeks right here in the office on a Friday night at 5 o'clock, live in person once every 2 weeks. But every night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that's kind of hardcore and radical. Yes. If you're going to make $250,000 a year in real estate, I don't think it's too much to ask for you to show up at 9 o'clock for 5 minutes. Well, how many people do that thing? Not many, like hardly any, like 1/10 of 1%. And you're going to make money and have success like you've never done before because you're starting to doing it. You're putting wheels to your prayers. I mean, I'm all about praying. I'm all about God and the Lord and all that sort of thing. But man, sometimes you need to put wheels to your prayers, right? They left Egypt, went to the promised land, and they went around the desert, but they were moving. And then they circled around the desert. It's 40 years longer than it should have been. Here's the deal. Yeah. So I'll end with this. If you want to be a part of a success pod for production, because you're like, maybe you're new and I got to get my sales, I think that's actually really smart. If you can't pay your bills, I don't think you should necessarily get in the agent attraction one because you can't feed your family or put gas in the car. So you may need a success pod for production. So I'm going to create one of those. I'm going to help lead it and get it kicked off. So if you want to be a part of either one of those or both or whatever, it's a 5-minute call, Zoom, whatever, every night. And text me at Brent Gove, on my cell phone, 916-223-5555. That is my real number. And if you miss that, get it from anyone here. They'll give it to you. And I believe that's everything I had. I told Johnny 1 minute. Was that 1 minute?
Yeah, it was.
Yes. Have a great day, you guys. Go be
Bye, Mr.
successful.